Hello universe and welcome to Fuck Physics. Is it Fuck Physics? Oh sorry. Welcome to Folk Physics, and in today's video we will be discussing about the wrongest turn that entire modern science took, and one wrong turn brought us up here, and we are all confused and wondering where we are going ahead in next 50 years or 100 years. So we are confused, and that point we are going to discuss exactly that point today, and that point was Michelson Morley experiment. In our previous video, the part 1 of this video, we discussed about how modern science made its journey from Ptolemy to Copernicus to a point where we were confused. First thing about light. Is light wave? Is light matter? Or is it both? And till we reached to this point of experiment, we were pretty sure that light was a wave. And we got to know about this from Young's double slit experiment and many more experiments that were connected to this first experiment, novel experiment. We were like, sure, yeah, light is a wave. And if light is wave, it should have some medium, right? Just like sound is wave, and it needs medium, air, to travel. You can't expect someone talking to you when you are on the moon, because there's nothing in between, no medium to transfer this wave of sound, right? In similar way, you have seen water waves, right? Water waves, they travel through the medium, right? And the medium is water. Similarly, we had an open question that if light is a wave, it should have a medium. And in that time, ether was a very famous concept. Ether was a rising concept, and lot of big scientists like Maxwell, Einstein, and many other scientists were working on different theories based on the existence of this ether. What is ether? Ether is a medium which pervades all over the universe, and light travels through this medium. Because if we don't have medium, just imagine if there's no medium and wave needs medium to travel, then how would light from sun reach us to earth, right? Because in between there's vacuum, nothingness, right? So people believed that there exists something called ether, and that was through which light was traveling. And why was this Michelson Morley experiment conducted? Michelson Morley experiment, before the conduction of this experiment, people were pretty sure that this is going to be one of the biggest experiments that has ever happened on earth. And to my surprise, to your surprise, the experiment was not to prove that ether existed or didn't exist, because in that time we were very confident that there exists ether, a medium through which light travels. So just imagine we are traveling on a boat on a surface of water, and if I am riding at 20 kilometers per hour, for example, and the water itself is traveling at 10 kilometers per hour, right? Then the total speed is going to be 30, okay? The relative speed is going to be 30. And if we are moving at the same direction, okay? Just imagine the boat is traveling at 20 kilometers per hour, and at the same time water is also traveling at 20 kilometers per hour. And imagine that these are traveling in the opposite directions, okay? If they are traveling in opposite directions, the relative speed is going to add up and go to 40 kilometers per hour. And if things happen together, if water is at 20 and boat is at 20 both, then the relative speed is going to be 0, right? So based on this foundation, they wanted to find out the relative speed of earth and the ether. Just imagine there's a medium pervading all across the universe, and earth is floating through that medium, like traversing through that medium. Then there must be some relative speed between ether and earth, and that is why Michelson Morley experiment was conducted, to find out the speed, to find out the direction of ether. And to the surprise of entire scientific community, that was a failed experiment. Michelson and Morley, they failed to find out the direction, to find out the speed of the ether. And the failure was very confusing, because they found out that there is no motion of the ether. They found out that there was no motion of earth across the ether. And that is how we reached to a point that ether does not exist. Because if ether existed, there should have been some relative speed, right? And that is how it was concluded that close these things, just pack up ether and get lost, get out of the science. Now let's come to reality. Let's do some dissections. Let's diagnose the problem, right? What actually happened in Michelson Morley experiment. And if you go deeper, then you will get to know that there were two conclusions of Michelson Morley experiment. The first conclusion was, yes, there's nothing like ether that existed, and just take it out of science. And the second conclusion was, ether exists, but ether always stays at rest with respect to earth. And this was a very big claim, because this claim was making making Earth special. Just imagine there is a medium that exists throughout the universe, and that medium, the position of that medium, the speed of that medium, the existence of that medium rely on Earth. That was very hard to digest in those times, and people didn't want to select the option that goes with religions, because at that time all the religions, they were talking about the importance of Earth, the significance of Earth, and they presented things as if we were the center to the entire existence, right? And the science was not ready enough to go along with religions, so they didn't choose that path. And the second option was completely rejected, and the option that was selected was that no ether exists and Earth is not special at all. And then I'll get a hold of a paper. Yeah, I prepared something for you guys. So let's come to some reasons why the second option was not selected. The second option, that Earth might be special, Earth might be the center to the entire existence, Earth might be at absolute rest with respect to ether, and that was a very mind-blowing option, but we rejected it. And the reasons that we rejected were, I'll point out one by one, and yeah, let's go for the points first. Why the geocentric universe was dismissed? Number one was that we came to know that Earth was revolving around sun, and if something is revolving around something and considering the other thing as the center, then Earth can't be special. If Earth is special, then sun must be more special, right? And that was one point, that Earth revolves around something and the entire universe is not revolving around the Earth. That is why Earth can't be special. That was the point. And number two, people were not accepting the existence of ether because we knew, or we can say that we considered, that vacuum was empty. Vacuum is actually a complete nothingness. Okay, just let's note down the points and then we will debate one by one on each point at what state are we now. Okay, let's continue with the third point. The third point was that many other planets were there in existence just like Earth. We consider Earth as a life suitable zone because it lies in Goldilocks zone and water is found in ample, in liquid state, and a lot of other things, the moon. And then when we study other planets of other stellar systems of other galaxies, we get to know that there are many other planets of Earth size, of Earth's gravity at the Goldilocks zone where water can exist in liquid form. So that was also a very big reason people didn't want to accept that Earth can be special, because we already know about billions of planets that exist and we haven't gone through each and every of them. So there might be some planets where life exists as well. So how can we be special was the third point. And the fourth point was, till then we had not even one observation that somehow showed that Earth was special in this universe. And the fifth point was, the thing was going anti-religion. They didn't want to go together with religion hand to hand, because science was especially known to be something beyond religion, and at this point they didn't want to make Earth special because it would go together with the religions. So these were the 5 points which were the main cause of the dismissal of the geocentric universe. And in our coming video, in our next video, in part 3, we are going to dissect each and every points that all 5 points are proving wrong today, and how, you'll get to know in the next video. So see you guys.